Today I'm going to talk about the connections for me, and possibly for you too, between music and learning a language, and specifically in my case, a particular song. When did you first meet Irish as a language? For me, it came a long time ago before I started learning it. It wasn't in school, and it wasn't through travelling in Ireland, as it might be for many people. Seeing those signs everywhere in two languages, that came later on for me. Maybe you in recent times have even been able to watch films in Irish and come across the language that way. There have been some significant ones. But for me, my first encounter with the Irish Gaelic language was actually when I was quite young and living opposite a public library. I was at university then. And in the evenings, I used to go to that public library and listen to, here I'm showing my age, cassette tapes with songs on them or music on them from all different cultures and in all different languages. It was a real treasure trove for me. A great selection of music in languages other than English. And I think that song is very connected to language and can be a really useful way of kind of naturally absorbing language patterns. So I would listen to these cassette tapes either of French chansons or German songs, or in one specific case, which in some ways wasn't really my cup of tea because it was harp music, and I'm not a particular fan of that. I think it was a recording of Mary O'Hara, but I may be wrong. It's a very long time ago. I'm talking in the 80s. And I'm not sure it was her because I can't find any trace on the internet of her singing this particular song. It's a children's song called Báidín Fheilimí, so Fheilimi's Little Boat. My story with this song is about the intimate connection between language and music. Even though back then I couldn't understand a word of it, the sounds of the words in the song and the lyrical patterning of it stayed with me so strongly that I never forgot it and could almost sing it, although I would have had the words wrong because I was going just by the sounds. And so strongly did it stay with me that decades later, through kind of hit and miss Googling, I was able to find out what that song was. In other words, the pattern was so strong that even without then speaking the language, I could later recognise which song it was. I was back then a language student at the university. I was doing French, German and Italian at the same time and had tried to argue my way to a fourth language, but the dean wasn't having any of it, and Irish, though it would have interested me, was not on offer. In fact, there has been Irish language activity in Western Australia, various groups pursuing it at the Irish Club and elsewhere, but it wasn't an option for me growing up, that's for sure. That little song still enchants me. It's really very beautiful. And I've since watched in more recent times and listened to it closely in various different versions, different cover versions. It's a folk song on YouTube, of which I'll give some examples. It's something about the simplicity of the tune combined with the repetitive lyric pattern that I find so beautiful about this little song. And it reminds me of another boat from Ireland, Little Boat of Great Beauty, the golden boat found in the Iron Age Broita hoard alongside other objects. Check that one out, it's really something. But to return to the song, not every version of this song that you will hear has perfect pronunciation. But a song is, of course, more than just the words. It's also the interpretation, the rendition of it. And there are some beauties out there. Despite, whether the pronunciation's perfect or not, songs are a great way of making grammar also lodge in your brain without feeling as if you're actually doing the work involved. It kind of happens, it absorbs. Let's look at this particular song. Fheilimi's little boat, or Fheilimi's little boat, went to Gaeilge. Fheilimi's little boat and Fheilimi in it. Fheilimi's little boat went to Gaeilge. Fheilimi's little boat and Fheilimi in it. Now, there are many more stanzas to the song, but I've just taken the first one and the chorus, which essentially says a tiny boat, a lively boat, a charming boat, Fheilimi's little boat. a straight boat, a willing boat, Fheilimi's little boat, and Fheilimi in it. I've taken that translation from Wikipedia, which says it's in the public domain. So if you're interested to see the rest of the song and its lyrics, you can go there and check them out. You can see Báidín is a masculine noun. It's actually from báid, also masculine, meaning boat, and the in is a diminutive added on the end, so little boat. In the chorus, which has lots of adjectives, those adjectives don't show lenition. They're not lenited or softened. Their beginning consonant doesn't change because the noun is masculine. However, you'll also notice that the F on Fheilim changes to FH because it's the little boat of Fheilim, a case called the genitive, which is about possession. In English, we can do that by adding the apostrophe S, Fheilim's little boat. We also get some practice of the past tense in this song of one verb with the verb imi, to go or to depart or leave, here in the form dimi, so adding the D apostrophe to make the past tense because it begins with a vowel. That's one of the ways Irish forms the past tense. The Gaeilge mentioned is an island off Donegal. That's where his boat went. So Báidín Fheilimí, Dimi go Gaeilge, Báidín Fheilimi's Fheilimi on. Báidín Fheilimí, Dimi go Gaeilge, Báidín Fheilimi's Fheilimi on. And then the chorus with its adjectives. And I don't claim to be pronouncing any of these perfectly, but I can't sing them for you. Or I could try, but it wouldn't be beautiful to listen to. Báidín bídeach, Báidín beosach, Báidín boiach, Báidín Fheilimi. Báidín díreach, Báidín díontach, Báidín Fheilimi's Fheilimi on. It actually tells a bit of a sad story. In the later verses, we hear that his boat is broken up. Do you have a favourite song in Irish Gaelic? Is there one that you use to help you learn words or to learn grammatical patterns? I'd love to hear about it. Please share it in the comments, and remember, please subscribe.